Are you new to bullet journaling? Are you new to tarot? If you said yes to either one of those things, stick around because I'm going to show you how I am using bullet journaling to learn tarot. Check it out. Hi there, I'm Erin, and in case you're new here, I like to help people who are in recovery from an eating disorder to heal themselves with creativity. If you have already watched some of my videos, then it won't be a surprise to you to know that I'm doing another bullet journaling video. Yes, this is a bullet journaling video. I have been practicing tarot for a few months now, starting to kind of get really curious about the stories behind the cards and how the cards all tie together and how I can use them to deepen my understanding of myself and the world around me. So, in all of that, I started to dive into the abyss of the internet. And there's, of course, a wealth of knowledge and a whole bunch of really super clever people who are sharing what they know about tarot on the internet. And so I started to go down that rabbit hole and I found myself getting really overwhelmed quite quickly. So I decided that I needed to get a handle on all the information and figure out a way to organize it so that it makes sense for me and so that I can learn the cards without feeling completely overwhelmed and in over my head. So in this video, I am going to show you a couple of spreads, the first two spreads that I've done in my homemade bullet journal, so that you can follow along and do your own similar to mine if you like, or you can maybe be inspired to take this in a whole new direction and make it entirely your own. That is the beauty of creativity, and that is the beauty of bullet journaling. Let's jump right in. So the very first spread that I'm showing you here in my new tarot journal is my tarot symbols key. So I have learned that each of the cards in the Major Arcana have a number. I haven't really gotten fully into an understanding yet of why they each have a number. I'm sure I'll learn that somewhere along the way, but for now, I know that having a symbol for each of the cards as I'm journaling my daily readings will be really helpful. So the symbols are there so that rather than writing out the name of the card every time I have to write it, keeping in mind I will be doing journaling daily on my daily readings. So keeping that in mind, it'll be handy to have a symbol that I can write for each of the cards rather than having to write out that card's name every single time I have to write it. So these symbols I got from, well, a couple of different places. There's a lot of places on the internet that you can access the symbols, the different symbols that different people use. And what I did was I just went through I went through a Google search actually of the different symbols that different people use, and I kind of picked ones that made sense to me so that they'd be easier for me to learn, and that then I wouldn't have to always refer back to this card symbol key. But nonetheless, while I learn the symbols and I learn more about each of the cards, I'll have this spread in the beginning of my tarot journal to refer to, and this will help me to make my daily reflections on my readings go a little bit smoother. So I started by just making a box for each of the symbols that I'd be recording, and I included space there for the numbers, as you can see, the card numbers. I added some color. I had selected a color palette before I started my journal, and actually I haven't shown you yet the title page of the journal or the cover, because I'm going to do that in a whole separate video to show you how I'm setting this journal up and why I've chosen to set it up the way I have. But so the color palette was selected when I did the title page, so I already knew which colors I was going to be using, and I just added some color where I thought that it would look Pretty. I like drop shadow, so I added a drop shadow to the title of this page and used a couple of different fonts. The next spread is the Major Arcana, and this isn't really a spread, it's my title page. So this is where I've got a tab on the side of this page so that I can find the Major Arcana section quickly when I'm needing to refer to my notes for the meaning of a particular card. And I took some inspiration from my tarot deck, which is, I took some inspiration from my tarot deck, which is the Deviant Moon deck, and so I put the moons in the corners of each of the card on my title page here, but I didn't dare try to recreate the images on the card, so I dreamed up my own images that I could put on these cards on my title pages and as decoration throughout my tarot journal. And then again, I'm using a color palette that was already selected when I did the title page, so using a lot of the same colors, a lot of the same font. And I love doing banners, so there I've put a banner on this one. And when I post my video showing how I set up this journal, you'll see more banner work. And there's that beautiful drop shadow that I love doing so much, and these brush pens from Faber-Castell make drop shadows really, really simple. A little bit of highlights there with some white gel pen, and there you have my first two spreads from my tarot journal. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe so you'll see the next video that I upload. You'll get a notification if you hit the bell. Until the next time, my friend, take care and have yourself a lovely, lovely day.